Hi, ladies. I'm here with Nancy Rich Gutierrez. Is that right?
Yeah.
And we're here to share some takeaways from Nancy's fabulous VIP day that we have been having on the lake near Austin at Lake Travis in Lago Vista, Texas. Nancy is an amazing co-owner of the business HG Horseshoeing LLC, which she owns with her husband, and which they have They have built very quickly. There's no quilting involved. They have built very quickly up to a six-figure business that is totally book solid with clientele in a wide region around where they're based here in Central Texas. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about what we've been working on, what Nancy has to offer all of you, and why what she's doing is so important in a niche that I don't know that anyone else is serving right now. And I've just been super impressed with the depth of Nancy's knowledge. Like, she's a horse person, yes, but she's also like very much in it with her husband, who is the farrier actually doing the work on the horses, and really understands like what it takes to get and keep a healthy hoof on a horse, which if you're a horse owner, you know how important, you know how key that is, right? No hoof, no horse. And so Nancy and Nace's passion is very much to empower horse owners to be able to have a good relationship with their farrier, but also to be able to take care of their horses in the way that they want to, at the level that they want to. And so not just the people here in Texas, but also to help people who are all around the world, which they're already doing. And I'm super excited to be helping Nancy bring that to an even wider audience. So tell us a little bit more about what you're doing and what we've been working on today.
So today we set up a plan for my next 4 months, 12 weeks, 14 weeks?
12 weeks.
12 weeks.
120 days.
120 days. Worth of emails to my email list for our hoof care services. And the email list actually includes a lot of people that are not our local customers. So we were trying to also have services available for those people that we don't see in person, but be able to help them at a higher level than just giving them articles to read and that kind of thing. So at a more personal level, I guess. So we have 2 new services that we're going to roll out.
Woohoo!
And you guys are the first to know.
That we are rolling out.
We are rolling out today.
Right now, this minute.
So the first one is the Perfect Trim. And that is for horse owners that have horses that they would like to keep barefoot. So that maybe the horse is already barefoot, or they might be wearing shoes and it's important to them to transition them back to barefoot for a variety of reasons. And so what that service involves is a map of their horse's foot. So they would send us pictures or any information that they have. And then we will discuss with them what what is good about the trim, what it could be improved on, how those improvements might improve the horse's way of going or comfort level, or how to solve some problems, so that they can take that information, they can feel knowledgeable and empowered to go talk to their own farrier about how they can make some improvements in their horse's hoof care.
I love that. Yeah, because I think I know that for me, and I know that for you too, a lot of times the way that we feel as female horse owners when dealing with a farrier, because a lot of farriers are of a certain type, right? There's a certain stereotype about them. I know that the farriers that I've used over the years personally have been kind of crotchety, kind of grumpy, kind of didn't really love my particular horses, kind of plumber crack hanging out, if I can just say that a little bit, and just got to do it their own way. And who are you to say something? It's kind of sometimes the way that I felt dealing with a car dealership or something, a mechanic. And that was the way that you had felt for a long time too, right? And
a little inappropriate.
Yeah, a little inappropriate. And so when Nancy and Nace decided to do this thing, they decided they were going to do it different. They decided that they were going to do it better. And what has happened as a result of you combining like a really high level of expertise for each of you, where NACE is like really, really good at dealing with like problem cases or like optimizing hoof care, you know, for horses, and not just, you know, just doing a trim like here and there, whatever, but like actually looking at the problem or like what could be perfected. And Nancy's background in business and working in corporate and like bringing those two minds together is that they've actually created this brand that people around the world have been attracted to, and that people follow them. Like, you should follow them on Instagram. What's your handle?
HG Horseshoeing LLC.
HG Horseshoeing LLC on Instagram. And you have how many people over there?
700.
2,700. You want to talk about how to grow on Instagram no matter what your deal? Talk to this girl, right?
You just have horse feet and people love it.
Yeah. So talk about a niche. You want to talk about a niche. And you're afraid like there are enough people in your niche? Horse feet, this girl. 2,600, 2,700 people, right? And most of them are obviously not her in-person clients. And so when you have this kind of success with something like that, then it's time, as Nancy has done, to go, I have all of these people. Most of them are not my in-person clients. Let's be strategic about this and monetize it so that we can, of course, grow our business beyond just like how many hours in a day her husband has, but also help more people to feel like actually knowledgeable and empowered and like they're doing the kind of thing that they want to do right by their horse, right?
Yeah.
So the perfect trim is the way to get NACE's eyes on your horse's feet, and then have him create an exact trim plan and get a total like package printout PDF of that, so that you can take that to your farrier and say, this is exactly what my particular horse needs. Not just like trimming the way that you want, but trimming the way that actually is what my horse needs, so that he can stay or she can stay sound for the long term and totally be in optimal hoof health barefoot, which is what so many of us want, right?
And it's explained in a way that the horse owner can understand. So it's not, full of jargon that you're not going to understand what's going on.
Right, exactly. And, you've had this really successful ebook as well on Amazon. Tell us about that.
Yes, we have Hoof Care for Horse Owners, which is an ebook that we wrote together. And it's on Amazon. It's available on the Kindle.
All right, so we're back. And we're talking about a little bit more about why it's important to have something that's not only created especially customized for your horse, but that you know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm. So, the reason that we want to use the perfect trim is so that we can explain things in a language that the horse owner feels like they can understand and have a better conversation with their farrier. Because I know in the past, when I was just a horse owner, it would be, it sometimes felt like maybe the farrier was talking down to me or using words that like they were making up or something that just didn't really make sense. And then I didn't really feel like I could ask the best questions or get the results that I necessarily wanted, because I couldn't even understand what they were telling me. So, our goal here is to make sure that the horse owners understand what people are telling them, and that's a major part about what Nace does. My husband, when he goes out and works with horse owners, is he's correcting problems or working on lame horses. He takes the time to make sure that the horse owner understands everything. He shows them what he's talking about, points to the things, moves the horse around so that he can explain everything to them in a way that makes sense, so that they can, when he leaves, they feel like they understood what just happened and what needs to happen, and that there's a plan. So we're trying to help offer this to people that
You are offering that.
Yeah, we are. That's our goal here.
So the really cool thing is that, what we're doing is we're taking an existing business and we're scaling it. We're taking something that's working really, really well, and even Nancy has created this awesome, huge following online already, and she's like, all right, I have this thing. Now what do I do with it? I've created I'm getting interest. People are reaching out to us and saying, can you help me with this? Like in some remote corner of the world where they don't have access to names, right? They can just put him on a plane to fly him to California or whatever, and pay top dollar for him to work on their horse. This is making it accessible. Like somebody who's like a real talent for what they're doing and is running the business. They're running the business in a really profitable way, but they're limited by the number of hours in the day. And they're limited by Nace's physical ability to reach the horses around him, right? So this is such a great opportunity for Nancy to take what she knows about business and leverage the business by creating something that's accessible to anyone and everyone online, right? And so what a great example of what's possible when you decide, hey, I've created this thing that's really working, but it's only working to a certain level. Now I'm ready to take it bigger, right? So the perfect trim is everything that you need to take to your farrier to get the exact right trim for your horse. It's like, oh my gosh, how much would you love to have, someone tell you the exact perfect haircut for your face shape? And we're talking about feet. Which in horses is a life and death situation. It's a little different than hair, right? So tell us a little bit about the level that Nace operates at, right? And he really isn't just your average farrier.
Right. Well, he gets, he works with a lot of vets in the area, veterinarians, because they know that he can help them get these horses that have huge problems back to being sound, or sound as they can be, and comfortable, pain-free. So he's had that experience to be able to work with veterinarians, be recommended by them. So then when he does work with horses that maybe don't have a major problem, he's able to really help the owners there, understand what's going on, keep the horse healthy, and keep their feet healthy so that they don't develop those problems.
Yeah, so you see both sides of that, right? Like, Nancy was telling me about this really fancy shoe that Nace just made for a horse that had surgery on its foot and needed it to be, sterile, basically, right?
Yeah.
And so he actually handmade this shoe to go on this particular horse after it had surgery, work with a vet on it and everything. So we have that level, and then they're going, okay, well, we don't want every horse to have to get to that level before we can help them.
Yeah, being preventative is a big part of what we do, is, helping people to see where a problem might be coming up and correct it before it becomes a major problem.
Yeah, and talk about, saving you a lot of time out of the saddle, right? Rest time, stall rest time, and not to mention money, right?
Right, because it can get very expensive having to fix health problems.
Yeah, and you lose, if you're competing or even trail riding or just taking lessons. Having horses sitting in a stall that you can't do anything with, it's sad.
That's not fun for anyone.
Most of us have been there, right? Yeah, so you are offering the perfect trim. You decided you were going to offer it first to society ladies at a really crazy price. Tell us about that.
Yes, for you ladies, I'm going to offer it for $57, which is, in some areas that's the cost of one trim. But, it will save you money in the long run by not having to get to the level of specialty shoeing or, having to have corrective stuff done, so that you understand what's going on with your horse's foot and how it can be improved.
Yeah, and what are you going to charge, normally for this? At the intro rate for normal people is what?
Would be $77.
$77. Amazing. So, for the price of a trim or a trim and a half, you are getting Nace's expert eyes on your horse to get basically a fingerprint of just the right angle and just the right trim for your horse. And that's something that could go with him or her their whole life, right?
Pretty much.
And what kind of problems can having the perfect trim prevent you from experiencing with yours?
Well, if you have the correct angles and the correct length and the depth of the sole all correct, like it can help prevent things like thrush from developing or getting out of control. It can prevent problems with the white line, cracks and chipping, and all of these kinds of things. If a hoof is maintained the way it should be maintained.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if you don't know what any of that means, there's nothing wrong with that. Get Nancy's book, which is specifically designed to help you understand it all. Because a lot of times we just aren't taught it, right? It's like, kind of like, again, with a car analogy, like we might not know all the parts of the engine, so when someone talks to us about it, we're like, I don't know, that's what I need. Okay, right? But then if you do understand that stuff, then you also know how important it is because it's such a complex thing, right? Like, it's so much more than just going in and, getting a manicure.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, because your horses stand on their hooves all day and they weigh 1,000 pounds or more. And
they're really like this big, they're tiny. This one
yeah. There's a lot of force put on very small areas, so problems can develop very quickly.
Mm-hmm. And so being able to kind of take a proactive approach to your horses and like perhaps one of the most important parts of their body in terms of I mean, if they don't have health there, they don't have health anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
And healthy, I think feet are probably an indicator of like overall health.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that is the healthy hoof like solution, the perfect trim, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's such a cool thing. How do ladies find out, like, how do they find out more information?
If you just want to send me a private message on Facebook, I can get back with you and we can set it up for you.
Yeah, she'll tell you exactly, like, the pictures to take.
And
And
you have
exactly.
questions too.
Yeah. Questions, right? If you want to chat about whether this is right for you or not. But I mean, I wish I had Mason, Kentucky. There are a lot of farriers, but a lot of times, like the places where I've boarded, they just use their own farrier, and so you just kind of have to show up and get what you get and don't throw a fit unless you want to pay a farrier, like, you want to risk that, right? And I'm all for trying new things, but I'm also not an expert holder for the farrier, or like, or because I don't have, because I work, I can't like work around farrier schedule when they're rescheduling 5 times. And so to just be able to have this like report and go, look, this is what my horse needs, do this, and I'll be checking to see if you did it, that is very powerful.
Yes.
That is worth a lot.
I've been in your shoes because I'm not a farrier. My husband's the farrier, but I remember what it's like when you can make it out and the farrier's doing whatever and you don't know what's happening, and then you come and see what happened later and it was not good and you didn't know what to do, especially if you're boarding or or is it a training barn or whatever. So so we're trying to help horse owners be able to take better charge of their horses' care.
It's awesome. Now tell us about, like, some of us have problem horses or problem hooved horses. And obviously that's where you spend a lot of your time because Nick is more of like a specialist farrier at this point, right? He still does a lot of the general work, but where he really gets how to customize stuff for every horse and deal with the horses that are in recovery, being managed for a situation, have had an injury of some sort, an illness of some sort. So you've got that covered too.
Right, yeah, so we're also going to have a second package, which is the specialty shoe consultation, where we can, go over what kind of shoe might best benefit your horse, given your situation. So this one would involve, going through your horse's shoeing history, what the problems are you're experiencing, if you have x-rays or other images from the vet that we can look at and get Nick to look at and go through, what might best benefit your horse in terms of, custom-made shoe or pads or, what kinds of products might get your horse back to healthy and sound as quickly as possible.
Right. which is amazing because whether you have like some kind of thing that you think is like a suspensory ligament issue, or and yours on stall rest, or you've had a crack in the hoof, or you've got some illness or whatever it is, it can all benefit from this kind of a little bit more intensive kind of, it's almost like triage, right? Triage and then ongoing management plan, because when your horse is having a foot problem, you want to get that thing solved right away, right? Whether it's a meningitis, founder, or like something less or more serious.
Right.
It's important to get it addressed and to get it addressed with somebody who actually knows what they're doing.
Right. And obviously, Nick can't be everywhere, but he can give you a good treatment plan to get it on track as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And to just know that that's available, I think is really important. I've had friends who have had really valuable horses, whether like in monetary value or sentimental, value, emotional value, who've had some kind of injury, and who do you pick up the phone and call if it's a like foot problem, right? Like you're just gonna Google like expert, farrier or whatever. Like I want to know that I have somebody to go, oh my gosh, this is a crisis situation. I need a second opinion from someone I know knows this stuff and sees it all day, right? To help me advise.
And if you don't have that established relationship, it can take a while to get on, a really experienced farrier's schedule. So, this can help your, maybe a less experienced farrier or anything, kind of get the ball rolling so that you can make some progress on getting your horse feeling better. Before it escalates.
Right, because you want to be able to manage the situation as best you can, and then go on to like manage it long term as you need to. Right. Instead of having to wait. It's kind of like going to urgent care or something, right? And so you guys turn these things around really quickly, right? And are available to consult with vets and all of that. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, and I mean, in the process of coming up with your treatment plan, we can talk to your vet, talk to your existing farrier, discuss things at a professional level, what their thoughts are from having their hands on your horse, also, so that you don't have to feel like you have to explain every technical medical detail. Christine's trying to play. So you don't have to come up with every medical detail when you're already stressed out because your horse is lame or injured or whatever and is not feeling well, and you just want to get this problem fixed.
Yes, exactly. And so how do people find out about that? And okay, so what are you charging for the specialty shoe consultation?
For the Society is the initial price of $127, which will the official rollout price will be $147. So if you guys have a problem horse, just shoot me a message and I'll get back to you and let you know how we can move forward.
I love that. I know that personally I'm going to spend any money that I possibly can figure out a way to get my hands on to alleviate pain, right, or stress. And I want to know that somebody who knows what they're doing and isn't just going to do whatever's convenient for them, right, at the time, is going to help me with my horse, and help his or her prognosis, and that gives me a lot of comfort. And in a way, I don't think you can put a price on that, but in another way, I think $127 is an amazing price.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a third of the price of what it would end up being if Nate were to come out to your farm and have to do this to your horse.
If you even lived in the area.
Right, if you lived in, the eastern part of the Austin area. So I mean, it's significantly less expensive than, what the farrier visit would be, but it gives you a good peace of mind that there is a plan forward for your horse, and you can, take this treatment plan and then, figure out how to get it in place.
Right, exactly. You can take to your farrier and go this is all we're doing. This, just do it. Right. Like, I've already consulted. You don't have to decide anything. We've done this.
Right, and if they have questions, we can talk to them about it too, so that, everybody's on the same page as far as, the end goal of getting your horse feel better.
Yeah, that includes the price of a consult with the vet or farrier, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever the case might be for that particular horse, because everyone's different.
Everyone's different. So we would love to hear your questions, comments about this stuff in the comments. Like, what do you think about, do you agree with how we've experienced, farrier, female client relationship? Has that been as special for you as it has been for us? And, do you have anxiety about it? I can share a story. Maybe this will inspire you to share a story.
I have a story.
Cheers and drink first. So, when I was pregnant with Fee, I was getting really tired of my farrier, who of course was brought in by the owner of the farm. It's just like a good old boy, right? Like, he just wants to come in and trim his quarter horses and have them stand really still, and like nobody minds, right? And nobody moves. And like, my Arabians are not that way, and so he thinks that they're crazy.
I have Arabians also, so.
Your Arabians also, yeah. And so like, he thinks they're crazy, and that's like his stereotype in his opinion, and they're very sensitive animals, and they like to remind you that they have an opinion. And so my husband said, when I was pregnant with Fee, look, I don't want you holding these horses, because I was still, holding them, so I don't want you holding, you're pregnant, and we need to find another farrier, because this guy's just giving you too much grief. And so we found another farrier, and my husband, I went out to help, watch, supervise. My husband held the horses for the farrier, and he didn't really know what he was doing. And one of my horses reared up because he was nervous. And this has never happened in the history of all time my horse has been trimmed in his 12 years of life. But like, somehow he caught his hoof, caught the farrier's apron, and flipped this big farrier over on the ground. And of course, then my husband doesn't know what to do. Do I move the horse off of him? Do I back him up? Do I move forward? And I'm standing there pregnant, like, what is happening? Like, I'm in total shock. It's the middle of winter. It's a nightmare. Okay, there's no electricity at the barn. And it was so stressful, right? Like, I felt really embarrassed that my horse had acted this way. My husband was totally freaked out. I'm like, why can't I just pay someone more and not have to go through this hassle? Like, who do I have to fly in for this, right? Like, I will find a way to pay for this so that this situation never happens again, right? Where somebody is endangered because of my horse, because I couldn't do it. My husband didn't really know what he was doing. This guy wasn't really into the Arabian thing or willing to work with my horses. And everybody has their own story of their own animal doing this or that, right? Like, my horses aren't particularly bad. They're just maybe used to a certain way of being treated. And somebody who understands that, as opposed to someone who tries to force them to do what they want to do. Which is an analogy for those who want to be entrepreneurs working in 9 to 5, right? But that's a different live stream. So maybe now that I've just shared one of my gory stories about the farrier, you tell me yours.
Well, one time, my best friend also has Arabians, and I had moved my mare to a different barn, and I had gone out and met the farrier, a new farrier, and, had our appointment and whatever. And so I went home later, and I was talking to her on the phone, and she asked me several questions about the hoof care appointment based on, like, what we had both been through with various farriers over the years, because both of us have moved quite a bit, and we've had different farriers. And the questions had nothing to do with how the horse's feet looked. It was, did he pee where you could see him? Was he drunk? Or did he seem to be drunk?
Drunk?
Did he hit on you? I mean, it was like all these questions about, like, because that's what we normally experience, which is totally inappropriate people. So, yeah, that's what a lot of people, base their decisions on. Is like someone will show up and be appropriate, and so they're maybe not getting the best quality of care for the horse's feet, but they have someone who is, sober, kind of shows up on time. And like that's not what you should be having to base your decision on. So,
Right.
yeah.
Especially, I mean, you're paying someone a premium to deal with the
Right.
arguably the most important part of your horse's external body, right?
Mhm.
So, like, a horse can live with one eye, right? It can live with, like, a lot of disabilities and challenges. It cannot live with any less than 4 sound feet
Right. Right.
at all times.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, was that, like, a turning point for you when you were like, this is insane? Like, how do we make this better?
Yeah, it was. And that was like when my husband was graduating from farrier school, I was like, listen, this is how we're gonna run this business. and that's
I love it. You just told him.
and that's what our messaging has been around, as far as, to our clients here, our local clients, is like, we're gonna let you know when we're gonna be there. You're not gonna be left wondering, like, is he coming today? Is he not coming today? And just generally be respectful, which seems like reasonable to me, but it's not.
I mean, it is here in this circle, right? The Life with Fashion Society circle, but...
Yeah, because I wasn't really expecting him to be, like, one of those farriers.
Sure.
Anyway, but, like, I knew that this was stuff that was really important to people, and in ways, it was more important than the hoof care, but then they were also getting that excellent care.
Yeah.
And so, we've been able to, I guess, increase what, our clients are expecting as far as, now they know that they can expect quality care and someone to, not be intoxicated.
That's a pretty low standard, Nancy.
Yeah.
So, but beyond that, even, like, somebody's gonna show up for them, somebody's gonna show up for an injury, somebody's gonna show up for, like, just the right standard of care that you can expect from a kind of a premium one-on-one service.
Mm-hmm.
And then being able to go, look, we want more people to be able to experience this than just the people on the east side of us there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Right.
Because I think that's a big part of it, is people being able to feel that they understand what's going on. They know what they should be able to expect. They know what they're looking at. Because a lot of people don't understand. Horses don't come with an owner's manual. So, so we want to be able to help people get to that level of comfort with discussing the care and just feeling like they have control of the situation.
Like, you
It's
have
your
somebody
horse,
that you
not
can
the horse.
trust, right? Like, you gotta have somebody you can trust so that you know that your horse, like, who you love, is being taken care of. Look at this, you guys. To that end, I just want to share what this beautiful farrier couple made me. You guys, look. It's made out of horseshoes. Of course it is. And it's painted red, and it's so beautiful. Like with passion color. I like the way it smells so bad. Am I sniffing paint now?
I had no idea to buy the paint.
Did you really? That's how much I know. I'm like, I don't know, it smells good. I guess that's why. But this is gonna go on my wall in my office because it's just so beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful flower and heart, and it's so nice. Thank you. I love it. I love it. And, I mean, so obviously, Nace is an artist as well as an artist with horses, right?
Yes. I did not do the welding.
But you do the painting. It's so pretty. So, we've been having such a good time here today, and I wonder, like, what do you think is different? Because you and I worked together for a while now. What do you think is different about working together in person as opposed to working on the phone?
Well, I feel like we got a ton done today,
Yes.
and in a shorter amount of time, even because I don't know, there's just a totally different dynamic in person,
Yeah. What do you think? Like, tell me about that. So, just what you mean.
I don't know what it is, but it's just I don't know, there's a different comfort level being in
Mhm.
person, you know. I guess you can see the other person's reactions, obviously.
Yeah.
That, you know, that's good. But, I mean, this beautiful location.
Of course, this beautiful luxury location that we're in.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely awesome. I would do another in person for sure, you know.
Tuscany in summer.
Tuscany, yes. Excellent man.
Yeah, I'm glad, like, you know, these particular intensives are, I mean, really the equivalent of 3 months worth of coaching, like, in terms of time. Do you feel like, in terms of what we laid out, was
yeah, there's no way we could have done all this on the phone. I mean, not in this amount of time, you know. I mean,
yeah.
and I think also having the whole day like this, or even just an extended period of time, is helpful because, you know, when you break it up into hour-long or 45-minute segments, you know, you can only get so far.
Right. So then if you just, like, go further and further, you know, down, okay, let's talk about this, oh, what about this, alright, let's lay this out, then you actually walk away with, I don't know however many pages this is.
And you can have a giant paper.
You can have giant paper with my left-handed, almost illegible, but hopefully illegible writing on it. But I think I agree with you because it's really, like, totally focused time you show up on your business, right? Like, you don't come in knowing, okay, I just got off of a conference call at work or, like, for my business and I have to go right into another one. It's like, I drove here today, I'm showing up, like, this is all I'm doing today. And even you said, like, naturally, like, alright, I'm gonna start on this, like, not tonight, like, maybe tomorrow, right? Like, we've come up with this action plan. We actually wrote a ton of the emails for your automation so that you can just go right in and type, like, automation, nurture sequence, onboarding, whatever you want to call it. And then we also came up with a lot of the exact topics she's going to talk about going on in the future. And the great thing about these in-person days is that then we're still going to have a month of coaching afterwards. So we have today, and then we have a month of coaching calls, email support. So we'll be going over all these emails after, like, Nancy gives her brain a break, you know, from this really intense work you did today, right? But then also gets to start. I mean, we're like, oh yeah, I'll have the new opt-in done tomorrow. Like, it's not a problem. Like, I'll lay out all the new emails. Like, she's the queen of execution over here. I love
all I
this.
need is a plan.
She needs a plan, right? And we talk about, like, simple strategies and self-belief, right? So we've been working on the simple strategies today. Does this make you feel more, like, confident in what your desire is to make more money in this business?
Yes, I have a, like, roadmap now. I can see, like, a couple of months out. I can see what the plan is, and I can see how I can help people, you know, going forward. So,
Yeah, there's so much potential here, right? But sometimes, like, we just don't see it until we get together and are like, okay, here's the roadblock. Alright, here's someone who's been there, right? How do we then grow from here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been throwing around similar ideas at everything that we've done, but it's kind of here and there and everywhere, and not, you know, it's not a coherent strategy for, you know, going forward.
Aligned of, like, okay, this is what we're going to sell, so then, like, this is what we're going to email. This is what we're going to message around, this is what we're going to talk about on social media, because eventually we want to plant the seeds here for people to buy down here, right? After they get to know, like, and trust us.
Right.
Yeah. Other thoughts?
It's just really, really helpful. So, you know, if you do like a U.S. tour.
Oh, a U.S. tour!
or no, worldwide tour.
No, worldwide, yeah. We're going to definitely be doing that. But I do offer ones in person in Kentucky right now. So, like, if you are in the area or you want to go on the Bourbon Trail, you know, you're looking for a reason to come in and do that and work on your business, you can come and do one in my home, which is really, really cool. And then I also have half-day Skype intensives, which I'm doing regularly, and people are getting crazy results, like, from that as well.
I did one of those earlier on, you know, because, you know, I think I did, like, a phone one early on. That was, you know, like, it was like a short one. But, like, this is definitely good to block out the time. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I think you get more out of a little bit longer period of time.
Yeah, I agree with you, because then, you know, I know for me, like, I mean, just be about, like, I would go to the bathroom and I'd be like, I have an idea for Nancy's thing, right? Like we were just talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just crazy the way your mind works. Like,
Right,
or
yeah.
we talking about something else and I'd be jotting something else down over here on the paper and come back to her and be like, I have an idea for your Christmas email. Like, it's great, you know, because that's the way. So the longer you give yourself permission to do that, that kind of masterminding back and forth in person, there's just something about it that's really magic.
Yeah. Definitely.
Being able to see each other and go back and forth, and you know, I think that the virtual, like looking at each other on Zoom or Skype or whatever, is really cool too. But I think like obviously in person here is really really awesome, and I think for me, like, you know, having known Nancy for a while and getting to like meet her in person is so cool.
Yeah.
It's so fun to be able to really dive in, and there's so much about Nancy's business that I didn't know, right? Because we hadn't spent like a long-term amount of time together.
Right.
And to get to go, oh my gosh, you know so much. Like, here's how we're gonna message around that, right?
When we get on the shorter calls, it's like, let's get down to business. But
Right.
you know, I think you get a little more out of getting to know each other a little more. You know, just hearing a little more detail about things.
Right, and going to that next level and like, yeah.
I mean, it's been helpful for me just to hear about your business and your horses, since that's part of my business.
Right, exactly. Just kind of like be in a space that feels really inspiring too, I think. And it's away from your normal routine.
Yeah, because, you know, when you're in your normal thing, you're kind of thinking about, you're not thinking ahead as much, maybe, or I don't know.
You're like, okay, what's for dinner? What's my kid doing? Like,
Yeah.
what are the dogs doing? What am I helping
Oh,
them?
there's phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had like the computer on or the phones, so that helps as well.
Yeah.
No distractions, just conversation and getting work done.
Right, exactly. And I think that, you know, HG Horseshoeing is like such a great example of you guys starting with what you knew and what you had a passion for, right? And then like, okay, taking it as far as you naturally knew how to take it, and then going, okay, what can we scale? What can we do more of? Like, here's where, like, we're not sure how we can grow it, but here's where maybe there's potential, right? And that's exactly what you're doing.
Yep.
I think that a lot of times that's the thing that we feel when we're trading dollars for hours, right? Or we're like in some kind of service-based business. It's like, why can't scale? Because there's just aren't more hours in a day. But you can always scale, right? And not only did we create these two awesome options for working with Nancy and Nace, we created two opt-ins. And we also created like the vision skeleton of something that's gonna come next.
Right.
After the an info product, a passive income product that's gonna come after these next two options are, you know, well underway. So we stay focused.
And topics for tons of free value to put out
Yes.
for people.
Yeah.
So that they're getting the help whether they're, paying us or not, but they get comfortable with help, like us helping them.
Right. Because I think that's something that a lot of people have questions about is like, how do I provide value without giving away the farm?
Right.
Should we think of that? Because I know. But like, do you have thoughts on that? Because you're somebody who really writes a lot, provides a lot of value to your audience.
I mean, I base a lot of it on questions that we get, or cases that Nace has seen a lot of, when he tells me like, oh, I saw this today or that today, then I'll write an article about it or, put up a blog post about it because, it's obviously something that's, presently an issue,
Right.
but, I think that the more you put out there, that's helpful for people, the more that they know what can trust you.
Hey.
And but I don't think it's like a substitute for like the personal connection and being able to get the like I think if you put the value out there, they still will want to like work with you,
Yeah.
at a personal level.
Yeah, right, because they know, like, trust you, right? So, talk to me about this whole, like, 2,700 Instagram followers thing, because I think that's, like, a place where you obviously really shine naturally, and you obviously have provided a lot of value and have really connected with people over there. So, what do you think is your key to success?
I think it's honestly mostly just putting kind of unique or interesting pictures of horses. I mean, we do a mix of just like a horse or horse hooves or specialty shoes or funny stuff that happens, and then trying to provide a paragraph's worth of something interesting or an observation or I mean, it's a pretty good mix of stuff. People seem to really like the unique things or things that kind of show compassion toward the animals. So that seems to be the big thing. But I don't think that I've been especially like skilled at using hashtags or anything like that. I think it's more built based on people that have found us liking our stuff and then their friends seeing it or.
That's amazing. So truly organic, right? Like that's the definition of organic reach, providing a quality feed, and then having friends see it and go, oh yeah, like this is valuable to my friend. I'm gonna follow over here, and oh yeah, and then that effect, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time on researching hashtags and trying to be
strategic.
Right, really strategic about it. I just try to put stuff that is interesting to people and will be helpful for them to learn a little bit about their horse.
That's amazing. So are you using any hashtags?
Oh yeah, I mean I use hashtags. I just mean like I don't research them.
Yeah.
Try to be really like I don't spend a ton of time on hashtags.
Be clever.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I mean, I think who wouldn't want to have at least 2,700 Instagram followers, right? If not more. And I know that's right all the time. Because you're like, just 26. No, it's 2,700, right?
That's right, wrong.
Yeah, I mean. And so, HG Horseshoeing LLC, right?
Yep.
If you want to follow and get some tips on horses and hoof care and all of that. But I think really such a great, I don't know, I feel like you're really on the precipice of. You have taken a lot of knowledge, you've taken a lot of skill, you've done a lot of things right, and now you're ready to take to the next level. Right? And that's what we've been working on.
That's what we're here for.
And that's what we're here for. Cheers! So you guys, because we've had internet issues, we haven't been able to get this immediate feedback from you all. So we want you to tell us what you have questions about, what you have insights about, what you want to know more about. Drop them in the comments, tag me, tag Nancy. This is why we're here. This is why we're recording this. Again, despite...
How many times have we
Yeah,
tried?
I don't even know. I can't even remember. Despite our issues, and despite, we're going to be slicing all this together, we're going to be posting it back up, but I just want you to think about what questions you have for Nancy. Think about what you want to know. Think about these awesome offerings that she has of the perfect trim. If you want the perfect trim for your horse, if you want to do, if you got a horse with issues right now and you want to find out, what kind of specialty shoe or shoes could be your best options and which one's right now and which one might be better to wait or whatever based on your situation. This is the girl who knows her stuff. I mean, no question. She is small but mighty. And she is somebody who I bet if you could get, if you could shoe a horse, you would. I don't know if you'd want to. But you know enough to.
Yeah.
I mean, I think certainly, it's very cool to watch the two of them, the way that they interact, and the way that Nancy is kind of the strategic mind behind this business, and how she's going to grow it, and what the vision was, and how she's carrying that through, and now taking it to the next level, right? And so I think, for a lot of us, it's the opportunity to, get to work with Nancy and Nace while they're still, just launching this online part of their business, because I'm certain that once her 2,700 Instagram followers and Facebook followers and all these people know about what they're offering, they're going to be booked up again. And then we're going to be talking about more. We're going to be talking about raising the price first, because it's a really, really good deal. And then we're going to be talking about more products and services that people can, access without even getting specific eyes and ears on the business. So I think it's a really cool opportunity to get this expertise that a lot of us just haven't learned, for whatever reason, about our horses and about their feet and about hoof care and all of that stuff. So anything else you want to add about our day, about the biz, about...
I don't know. I mean, you should show them a picture of the boats out here. If you
okay. Boats. Beautiful lake. Travis. Alright, ladies, we want to say thank you for joining us for this awesome and also disjointed live stream.
a little chaotic.
Yeah, it was a little chaotic thanks to the wireless situation, but we are on an island.
Yeah.
So let's be honest about that, in the middle of the lake. So thank you for sticking with us, and please ask your questions and tag me and or Nancy below, and we will answer all of your questions.
Yes. Thank you all for attending.
Yeah, thanks for being part of this. So excited to have you join us, and we'll talk to you soon.